Hey everyone, welcome to the weekly analysis for today. Since it's a Friday, these weekly bars are coming to a close, which is always a great time to take a step back, look at these longer time frames. And so as we go through the charts today in the analysis, you'll kind of see some of the things that are happening on the weekly scope. Some of them very interesting, obviously very different than just 1 week ago, the last time we looked. And so I think it's going to be really beneficial to kind of take that step back, get a little longer term view of the major currencies, talk about some of these euro reversal potentials and what it looks like on the weekly chart, and then some of the other pairs too and how they're changing. So lots of great stuff to look at in the weeklies. We'll get into all of that, but first I just want to cover our terms real quick and we'll jump right back into these charts. Alright guys, and we just want to show you the terms for legal purposes. It's important that you understand that we're not an investment service. Winners Edge Trading is a free website with free content, but what we're telling you is just our personal opinions. It's not to be taken as investment advice, and so it's really important to understand that because, again, the government has strict regulations on companies like us, so we just want to be very clear on that aspect. Alright, and if you need to pause the video, read through all those more thoroughly, go ahead and do that. I'm going to jump back into those weekly charts. Alright guys, and so again this euro dollar, pretty interesting pair as we had such a strong reversal throughout the week, and obviously you can see what that did on the weekly chart with this massive bearish bar that we have formed here. And so kind of the question here is, if you still think that this euro dollar is continuing upward and the trend is really nice, where is the reversal point? Where's the point to think back long? Well, where we're at right now is a little bit of a level you can see just based on this little pin bar where it had some resistance there in the past. And then if I pull this back a little bit, you can see another level is in this area here. If I pull that back, another level is in this area here. So this 133.60 area has some support. However, the stronger level, in my opinion, is going to be back toward that trend line. If you look at this upward trend line, it's not a huge trend line, but it's tested 3 nice points here. And another thing that corresponds with this trend line area, if price comes in, say our next weekly bar is coming in at this level, it's going to correspond pretty nicely with this area here. Let me draw that line a little better. This area here, all in this range. And then again, another benefit for kind of correlating things is that it's going to be near the fib level here. Let me throw that 27 fib level in. There we go. It's going to be near this fib level as well. So we have some levels here that all kind of correspond near this range, near this cluster. They're not all in the same exact price, which typically is not going to happen. But this whole cluster, this whole range above 132.50 is going to be a nice area of support. So to me, it getting a little bit lower, coming near this trend line, and reversing from there is going to be a much more likely point for me to get long. And so that's what I'm waiting for. Now, one thing that's important to note is that if price were to turn around right here where it's at now and start heading upward, I would not be opposed to buying now. And the simple reason is because the price is going to move all the way up into our top level here and even make higher highs through this area. I don't want to miss the opportunity to get long just because I have certain criteria about this trend line. So what I would like to do is wait, see if it's going to come down. If it does come down, I'll look for longs lower. If not, if it goes straight up, I'll still look for a possible entry. It'll just be a matter of how it sets up and if there's a good price for me to get into. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at on the euro. Again, I really do like this level right near this 23.6 area. It corresponds with some other major levels, and I really like that potential. If I scroll back here just a little bit, you can also see it's pretty close to this area as well. Okay, so some nice levels there on the euro dollar weekly, and again, that's really what I'm looking forward to, hoping that we can pull back just a little bit further and then look to take a long from that point forward. Alright, looking at the US yen real quickly, this week was kind of an interesting week. We did shoot up higher toward 95 for a while there. It looked like we might be breaking through higher levels and just continuing this rampage. But then we kind of settled back down, a very small stall bar, still sitting pretty close to 92.50. So for the US yen, it's another one where on the weekly chart, it's kind of hard to believe that we're going to get a full pullback based on what we see here. But if it could somehow get a few weeks and pull all the way back to 90, this would be a great area to look for continuation on the US yen. So that's kind of what I'm waiting for. I'm not I'm not set on the idea that it's going to come all the way back down there, but if it continues to move, if it only has a slight pullback, halfway there and continues, I'm probably not going to get long. I'm probably going to be pretty greedy on this one, and wait till it gets all the way down to 90. And if it doesn't come back to 90, then I just won't be interested in trading it for a while until something different sets up at a higher price. So that's my thoughts on US yen. It's pretty amazing. It's moving, but I need it to come down now to an area where I can get long again. At this point, just hanging up above 92 is too high for me to think about entries. Alright guys, pound dollar is the next thing I want to look at here. Again, just the obvious sideways market is the main thing to note. Pretty good range back and forth, sometimes coming all the way to 162 and all the way back to back down to 152. You've seen a few times here. Lately, we haven't got all the way there. You can see a half pullback, continuation, and then back down to our middle level, forming this M pattern here. And so right now, we're kind of testing right at this M pattern. And it looks like it could continue lower, but we'll see. Right now, it's just a struggle. Could definitely go either way. So it's testing this level right now. We'll see if it breaks above. I'll definitely be thinking long into this level. If it breaks below, I'll be thinking short into this level. Pound dollar is something I was already short on, got out of break even. And so now it's just a matter of whether it's going higher or lower, of course, and taking advantage of it on its way up or down. So another one that you have to be patient for and look to really take advantage once the move happens and not be too late on it, because it seems like the pound dollar is moving with quite a bit of momentum either way it goes. So just a matter of waiting and taking advantage on that as soon as it breaks a certain level. Alright guys, USD CAD also pretty rangy. You can see that pretty nice bullish week here, came down to 38.2 and extended nicely back through parity. So we're going to run into some more resistance right now at this level, and that's something to look at, to keep an eye out for. But perhaps we can break and finally make our move higher. I've been saying that for who knows how long now. But once we break out either the top here or this bottom range here, we can look for continuation and better trading on the USD CAD. Right now, anything in the middle of this is kind of forcing it. We took a USD CAD short earlier this week and kind of forced it as a trade. Didn't work out, so a little bit difficult to trade right now. We'll see what happens, but just waiting for follow through one direction or the other, similar to some of the other pairs that are kind of trapped like that. Just trying to get some good direction and look to take advantage when it moves out in a consistent momentum-filled way. Alright, now I'll finish up with Pound New Zealand. Pound New Zealand, a great bounce from this major support zone down here. Definitely moving up nicely throughout the week. And so for me, I was hoping for a Pound New Zealand short. I was hoping for a continuation and a break. I still think that's very possible. However, it looks like we might get a test all the way back up in this level before going lower, which again is fine with me. It's just going to be more patience. So we'll see if this thing continues upward into this zone. I think this trend line is still a pretty major level, even though it's broken on the way down. And so that's an area I'd look at, and then of course see if it reacts in a negative way, in a bearish way, being bounced off there, or if we, in the other case, if we break through. I'm hoping that we don't break through, because then we're getting all this crap again, and not a lot of trading opportunities, in my opinion, once you get above that level, unless you go all the way through to 2.0. So hopefully we'll get a nice retest and a continuation down, and then I'll be looking toward that bearishness once again. But for right now, just a matter of waiting, like many of the other pairs. So we'll see. We will see, and that's all I can say about these weekly charts. I mean, if they break the levels, we'll get good trading opportunities. If they don't break certain levels, they don't come into good areas. We'll keep watching, and I'll keep doing analysis. It doesn't really give a lot of trade ideas, just keeps pointing out the same levels. Unfortunately, that's not the most exciting analysis, not the most exciting way to trade, but I've found in my experience that if you're patient, you're waiting for good areas and good potential, that you're a lot more likely to be profitable. And so that's exactly what I plan on doing, keeping an eye on these weekly charts and these weekly levels, and then jumping on the trades when they best present themselves. Alright guys, so that's it for the analysis. Hope you have a great weekend. Share and tweet the analysis if you don't mind and everything. And I'll talk to you guys Monday.